I get a lot of questions from people calling about rent-to-owns. They're asking what rent-to-owns are available. And my first question always is, how much are you looking to spend on your rent-to-own? In many cases, I get some silly response like $1,000, $1,200, $1,500. And when I say silly, it means that this person obviously never owned a house, or if they owned a house, it was a very long time ago. Just for the record, if you're planning to do a rent to own or a purchase, you are most likely going to be looking at $2,200, $2,400, $2,500 per month as a minimum. In most cases, even more, simply because when you're renting, especially if you're renting an apartment or a condo, it means that condo doesn't have its own foundation, doesn't have its own roof, doesn't have its own backyard, doesn't have its own yard, doesn't have its own plumbing system. In many cases, it does have an air conditioning, or it may not even have its own air conditioning. So all of those resources are shared by all the condominiums. As a result of that, renting a condominium or an apartment or even a townhouse, it's cheaper than owning an individual home, because you are using shared resources than individually owned resources. So for your calculation, your monthly rent on a rent to own is probably going to be close to your monthly mortgage payments. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to make a transition from renting to mortgage payments. You would fail. Most likely you would fail. So for that reason, your monthly payment on a rent to own will be comparable to your principal and interest on a loan, which might be only $1,100 or $1,200 or $1,300. But then on top of that, you're going to be paying taxes. And in most areas of DFW, taxes are, let's just say, anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000. Divide that by 12. That's your monthly payment just on taxes. And then insurance, and in many cases, your insurance is anywhere between $2,000 and $5,000 per month, depending on the size of the place, $2,000 and $3,000 per month. Divide that by 12, and that's your monthly payment. So you're looking to spend, in many cases, anywhere between $800 and $1,100 per month just in taxes and insurance, not to count your actual principal and interest. So I would say realistically think $2,200, $2,300 as a very low entry price, and then $2,700, $3,000 toward the more comfortable larger house, the rent to own.